and he appears.
I believe in Scoops.
Acknowledge me! The one! Acknowledge me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Scoops, the sole admin of Scoops. Wow, what a round of AFL footy it was. We saw Scott Pendlebury equal the record for the most games of all time with Boomer Harvey. Not this week, as he'll be managed this week, but next week against the West Coast Eagles, twilight at the MCG, Collingwood and West Coast. I expect that game to be a sellout as Scott Pendlebury breaks the all-time record for games played in the AFL. I will say it now in case I was to somehow forget. Congratulations on Scott Pendlebury for reaching this milestone and at worst now equaling that milestone. A silky mover, a great captain at the club in the past gone by, a one-club player, which not many people can say that these days, 400-plus classy games from the silky mover, the smooth operator, cue the smooth operator music, I guess. Pendles, well done on a terrific milestone, and it's absolutely well-deserved. Pendles, congratulations. Now, Scott Pendlebury will be featuring on Scoops Goes Bang, but it's not at Scott Pendlebury. It's at the people talking about Scott Pendlebury. We're talking about the Patrick Cripps trade debate, something that I've been saying for over a year, and people are only starting to finally realise. People laughed at me at the time when I said it, and now who's laughing now? Have I got everybody's attention now? If you know, you know. So, also, on Scoops Goes Bang, you'll find out a few more things to talk about. All right, then we've got Team of the Week, my Supercoach talk. Going to reveal the rounds just gone and upcoming, and everything in between all that. So first off, I'll start with this. You want me on Cameo? Head to cameo.com/Cooper G. Want me to roast a friend, wish them a birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. And if you know any AFL, AFW players or any state league players, you want to see them on the channel in a golking challenge and or interview, please do send me a message and hopefully we can try and get something sorted. Now, some previous interviews I've had on the channel with some AFW players that are on the channel right now, and hopefully some more videos that I can reveal to you all that will be either posted this week or next week in the next few days or so. So look forward to all those announcements as well. All right, cameo.com/Cooper G. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, thank you very much. Please leave a 5-star review. And if you're on YouTube, and you haven't subscribed to this channel, but you're watching the videos every week or here and there, or even if you're not, and this is your first video, welcome. And smash the follow, subscribe button anyway. I would really appreciate that a lot. So, let's not waste any more time. It is time for that world-famous segment. It's world-famous. Check the analytics because it says so. Yeah, it scoops. Goes bang. Oh, wowee. Where do I begin? Damo! Damien Barrow, Matthew Lloyd, Kane Corns, and all the St Kilda haters and doubters. So, St Kilda beat the Giants this year. They beat Port Adelaide this year. They beat West Coast and Carlton. Every time St Kilda's won, those individuals either say nothing or they try and say it's only them. Well, let me talk to you, okay? Our losses were to Gold Coast by the barest of margins, Adelaide by literally a point where we got robbed. Brisbane, if you actually watch the game, we're actually in at three-quarter time when we're leading throughout that game. And they kicked 3 cheap goals in the last 5 minutes or so to make it 28, 30 points. So we're actually in it if you watch the game. In Melbourne and Collingwood, we were literally in front throughout that game and within 2 goals the whole way through, if not less. And sometimes we're in front. So I would say, quite arguably, that St Kilda have improved this year. But don't get it twisted. Damien Barrett and people like that, Kane Corns and Matthew Lloyd, people that need an education, that don't have one. They literally, 99% of the people in the media today, in the AFL media on TV and on radio, 99.9% of them hadn't earned their role. They didn't have an education and skills and knowledge in this field. They got it because of their AFL or other sporting careers. Let's not get it twisted. That's why some of the best to do commentary are, well, you guessed it, actual commentators who actually paved the way for commentary and absolutely busted their ass to get to where they are today. So the Matt Hills, the Adam Papalias, Jared Waitley, Anthony Hudson, Mark Howard, those guys, they are the guys that have led the charge. They earned their role. Not people like Kane Corns who got it because they played AFL and they were a failed firefighter, so he couldn't cut it at firefighting. He was a shit tagger and everything like that. All these ex-AFL players getting in the media. I will respect more to the people that are in the field that are dominated by ex-players of their sport or other sports that have got the roles. The best to do it is Anthony Hudson, no shadow of a doubt. Jared Waitley's good. Alistair Nicholson's good. What's the other one? Jason Bennett's good. Nigel Carmody's good. Like all these guys and women are very, very good. But the people like Jess Webster as well, who's doing a great job on Fox, all these men and women that are covering football and other sports, they got it because they earned it. Their last name and their sporting careers didn't get them the job. You know what got them the job? Their hard work, their dedication, their years into this. They earned it, and they're damn well good at it, and they're the best of the lot. These ex-AFL players and ex-sportsmen that are getting into commentary in any sport they cover, 99% of them don't earn it. They only got it off their sporting on-field careers. They didn't get it because they're good at it. They got it because of their last name, how many games they played in their career, how many Brownlows they won, all that. A lot of them that are ex-AFL players or ex-sportsmen that are in the roles, most of them are complete and utter shit. There's no debating that. Now, Kane Corns, I'm sure, has bagged St Kilda today. I haven't heard it, but no doubt he has, and he has throughout the year plenty of times. Gee, when TDK and Sam Flynn has been dominating Kane, I haven't heard you. We can't hear you from all the way down there at the bottom of the ladder, Kane. Your club's a banter club again, and you're a shit journalist. And by the way, for people that keep saying, I think I'm a journalist, I never once said I'm a journalist. So get an education. So, because I haven't said that once. And if I have, it was taking the piss. I certainly don't say that now. I'm not a journalist, never have been. And yeah, So, idiots. Anyway, so Damo and Matthew Lloyd on the AFL's programs try to drag down St Kilda's performances. And going back to what I was originally saying about those margins against sides that are doing well or we just lost to. Our biggest loss this year was to Brisbane, and we're in it at 3/4 time and in the first half of that last quarter. So we haven't been beaten badly at all. Sure, there's been moments that we should have been in front and stayed in front and everything like that. No doubting that. Now, last time I checked with this Gold Coast game in particular, they're trying to say they haven't done well. Damo and Lloydie, you would never say that to Ross Lyon's face. I'm telling you that right now. Damo, you interviewed Ross in the preseason just before round one. You were glazing him and everything, saying he's doing a great job. We love cuddly Ross. We love fiery Ross, blah, blah, blah. The only time you talk shit about St Kilda is not to Ross Lyon's face. I'm telling you that right now. Kane Corns is the exact same. And they both work for the same organisation. What a surprise. An organisation, by the way, that has failed in so many departments, in so many ways, umpiring and everything else in between. Okay? So, I would quite arguably argue to you all that the performance against St Kilda, for St Kilda against the Suns on the weekend was fine. It was really good to start with. The second quarter wasn't crash shot. But if you look at it, when Gold Coast got 6 goals in a quarter to our 0, we kicked 4 behinds. Rowan Marshall and Liam Henry missed simple shots. I can't remember who the other 2 were, but all 4 of them should have been in. Now, they were up by 10 points at halftime. So if you add those 4 behinds, you take it off the actual score, it's roughly around 10 points we're up at halftime and maintain the lead that we had at quarter time. So, and this is without Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira, the best player in the competition, if not the best, the top 3, in the top 3. Without the best key forward in the game in Max King, obviously at his best when he's injury-free. Without Liam Ryan and Jack Higgins. Jack Higgins, the best small forward in the competition and one of the best, our best small forward. And Liam Ryan, who's been one of the best trade acquisitions this season for any club. But either way, we're talking about St Kilda here. Our best 2 small forwards, our best key forward, our best player, and one of our co-captains, Callum Wilkie, hurt his back early in the second quarter against a side in the Gold Coast Suns who are undefeated in Darwin, and no one's really come close to beating them there. We were the team that were the closest of any team against Gold Coast in Darwin without all those players. So how about Damo and Lloydie and Kane and everyone in the Bashing St Kilda campaign maybe get an education and educate yourself and realise, shit, no Naz, Wilkie for half a game, no Ryan and Sinclair, Ryan and Higgins and Max King and Hunter Clark and Dan Butler. You know what? Not a bad effort. You add in all that. You know, I've heard people say, Rao was out. So what? He hasn't done much this year anyway. But okay, yes, it's a big out. I understand that. But Naz, Higgins, Ryan, King, and Wilkie for half a game is far superior and far more of a bigger outs than one player. And we were toe-to-toe with one of the premiership favourites again this year in the Gold Coast Suns in Darwin. And the umpiring against us, which leads into my next part here, okay? Christian Petrarca got one of the softest free kicks this year on Stocker. I can't even tell you what it was for because there was literally nothing in it. It was a ball up. Petrarca was running and holding on with Stocker, and he got a free kick. And he barely even touched him. He basically didn't even touch him, Stocker. So that's bullshit, which resulted in a goal. Mitch Owens got elbowed in the bloody face. I'm pretty sure it was John Noble in the 3rd or 4th quarter in our goal square. Big momentum killer, not paid. They go coast to coast because all their players are loose from the bullshit, and they get a goal from it. I can't remember the margin, but it was within that 2-goal margin and stuffed us a chance to win. And TDK was held all night by the opposition. No free kicks. Holding the balls. Gold Coast dropped the fucking ball. No free kicks. Does anyone know what holding the ball means anymore? Because the umpires don't know. So they don't know how to educate themselves on what holding the ball is. Holding the ball, for people that don't know, means you're holding the ball and you drop it while being tackled. Do the umpires know that? You unintelligent, uneducated shit umpires. Gold Coast are severely protected, just like Geelong and the Western Bulldogs. Now, Gold Coast are protected in another way, clearly by the umpiring on Saturday night in Darwin. Andrew Dillon was there, and Andrew Dillon's the worst CEO of all time in the AFL. Without a shadow of a doubt, he is the worst and should be out of the job ages ago. He should never have got it. Andrew Dillon is the worst CEO of the AFL of all time. Gillon McLachlan was good. Andrew Dillon is not. And it's been shown with all the shitty rule changes that they can't even adjudicate well. Right. So, like I said, Gold Coast is severely protected. They got all these free academy selections. They can match bids in the 30s. They're the Nepo babies, as people say. The Nepo babies are the sons. So that's what people say it's called. So they're severely protected. Severely protected. So it's embarrassing. Right. So now, changing topics. I'd say the AFL to lift their game, but they don't. I was really happy with how St Kilda performed. I wasn't happy that we lost, obviously. No honourable losses here. But if you're going to say, were you angry with how your team played? No, I wasn't. I was happy with all those players out. Your three best forwards, your best player, and your co-captain, who's your best defender, and the best defender in the competition this year and any other year. And Naz is one of the best players, if not the best player in the competition. Key forwards in Max King, who is the best key forward in the game, injury-free. And he goes the best small forward in the competition. And Liam Ryan is the best trade acquisition this year, or one of. So, and he's hit goals in every game he's played. So, and Higo hasn't played for 2 games now. Ryan's now missed 2 games. King's missed every game for the last 2 years, essentially. And Wilkie didn't play the second half at all. And Naz didn't play, our best player. So you factor that all in. I'm not angry at our performance. I'm disappointed we lost. Just because we lost. But the umpiring was dog shit and severely protecting the Gold Coast Suns like they're always protected. Just because they can't pull in the crowd at any ground they're at, there's always a dead atmosphere at any Gold Coast or GWS game for that matter. Dead atmosphere. You'd get more games at my football than a GWS and Gold Coast AFL game. Simple as that. Now, Patrick Cripps. People have been saying in the last few weeks, Carlton should trade him. Yeah, I agree with you. They should for the right price. If it was a late first-round pick, I would take it. You're not getting a top 10 pick for Paddy Cripps. Any Carlton fans, which you're all delusional pretty much, all of you are basically delusional. And if you think you're getting a top 10 picks for Paddy Cripps, top 10 pick for Paddy Cripps, you are delusional. Late first at best, only because he's contracted. Anyway, that's not what I'm arguing here. I've been saying for a year that Patrick Cripps should be traded and dropped. And people laughed at me. They're going, you don't know what you're talking about. You're going to drop a 2-time Brownlow medalist. No, your recent football success in years gone past doesn't warrant you a game. Being a captain also doesn't warrant you a game. You're not untouchable from getting a game, from not being dropped because you're the captain. If you're playing shit, and you should be dropped. No matter whether you're George Hewitt, Lucas Camprielli, Blake Acres, or Patrick Cripps, Sam Walsh, Jacob Wiedering. Doesn't matter because your name is Patrick Cripps that you shouldn't be dropped. You absolutely should be dropped, and Carlton should be trading him out and get anything for him. He's been a good player over time, but for a year I've been saying to trade him and drop him, and now people are only now are starting to do so. So seriously, Carlton, drop Paddy Cripps and trade him out. He's holding you back. One of the reasons, outside of your shit coach in Michael Voss, of course, and your shit scummy fan base. But yeah. Now, Scott Pendlebury has been managed this week, as I mentioned before. Record game next week against the Eagles, 1 Pendles. Now, 2 things about this that people are getting so worked up on. Craig McRae, Fly, is allowed to manage Pendles the best way for Pendles and the team. They want this guy not only to break the record, but they want him to have a fit and firing season. He's older. They're wanting to manage him. Now, I'm sure this Sydney game was on purpose because they want him to play in Melbourne. And they have every right to. And Craig McRae has every right to defend himself and his club and Pendles when the so-called expert media, which there are no experts in the media bar me, so, and maybe a few others, not Kane Corns, that's for sure. All these uneducated so-called journalists, John Ralph and all those type of people, they can manage Pendles however the hell they want. Number 1, because they can. And number 2, they don't have to cave into your shitty media narrative that you all run with. If they want to manage him for the games they've done it, to play him, they can. They have every right. Pendles has every right to do it. He's happy to be managed and play the game against the Eagles at the MCG for the record-breaking game. Craig McRae is happy for that to happen. The Collingwood Football Club are happy for that to happen. Their CEO and president and all that are happy for it to happen. So if the club, the player, the coach, and the selection committee have no problem in it, why should you? You're only complaining to complain. That's all people on the internet do. Fake, tough keyboard warriors under fake accounts and shitty journalists doing it for clicks and views. There's no other way to put it. They can manage Pendles however the hell they want. They don't give a shit what username 3987VP says on social media, okay? They don't care. Okay, they really don't care. So, and the other thing with the Pendles thing is people crying about the gold number. The gold number, people are sulking. Oh, how can they do this? Again, complaining just to complain. Who gives a shit? Is that going to affect your everyday life if Collingwood wear a gold number 10 for Pendles' milestone record-breaking game? Does it affect you, me, or anyone else? No. It's for Pendles. The club are happy with it. If the AFL are happy with it, why the hell are you complaining? You're just bitching to bitch. How about actually saying the good things about this and going, Pendles, what a player, what a warrior, what a leader, what a captain, what a premiership player, what a star he is, what a silky mover, as I said off the top. Everything like that. But no. Yeah, you hear all that from normal people. Then the morons on the internet and the uneducated journalists that are running their mouth, bitching and moaning about this, and unintelligent fans running their mouth on social media and on platforms, on TV and radio. It's not affecting you. So quit crying. If they want to have a gold number for Pendles, they can have the gold number all they want. It doesn't affect you or anyone else. So stop talking about it for clicks and views. Who gives a shit? Gee, people, these days, 2026, the years of people bitching and moaning just for the sake of bitching and moaning. Get a life. Seriously. It's funny. One more thing I'll add. I don't like giving losers airtime, but I'm going to give them 10 seconds or so here. I love that unintelligent shit pages online that do graphs and everything like that. They have to run their mouth and keep talking about me. Especially these pages that do, I got sent this, so I didn't see this because why would I waste my time on shit fan pages and shit pages and groups and all that crap. But someone sent me the other day some shitty graphic that was talking about like a power ranking system about teams, and they had to reference me in it just to get some clicks and views on their shitty, dead, irrelevant pages. People always got to talk about me to give themselves some clicks and views. You people are all sad, pathetic people that have no lives. It's actually hilarious how many unintelligent, salty pricks there are on the internet. It's so funny. It's so funny. that you've got to talk about me to stay relevant. How about if you've got a shitty page on football, how about you actually, talk about the football and you don't need to reference me because I'm popular and you've got to talk about me to make your shitty, dead, irrelevant page or pages or groups stay relevant by talking about me. Get a life. Go touch some grass and actually get an education because you've got no education. You've got no life. The only thing you do is talk about me because I am relevant. I have succeeded in what I've done and continue to succeed. And you've got to talk about me to make yourself stay relevant. Your pages are dead and buried where they belong. Go touch some grass. All right. Hope you all enjoyed that edition of the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Now, it's time to go through my Scoops round 9. Yeah, round 9, AFL. Team of the week. From the back line, the pockets, Tom McCarthy and Archie Roberts. Full back, William Edwards. Half back line, the flank is Wayne Malira and John Noble. Centre half back, Ryan Lester. Wingers, Lockie Whitfield and Jordan DeGoey. Centreman, Lockie Neal. Half forward line, the flank is Darcy Wilson and Jake Waterman. Not watermelon, Rubes. Centre half forward, Mitch Georgiades. Forward pockets, Logan Morris and Jack Gunston. Full forward, Harry Mackay. Ruck, Luke Jackson. Rovers, Luke Davies-Uniacke and Isaac Heaney. The interchange, Sam Flanders, Will Hayward, Alex Neil-Bullen, Jacob Van Rooyen and Connor Iden. Sam Flanders, Kano, had a good game. I don't hear from all the way down there at the bottom of the ladder. Now, the emergencies, N. Watson, Jay Dawson, and I. Rankin. Now, the reasons for these selections, I didn't think there was many good players to choose from this week, to be honest. So, reasons for all these selections. Tom McCarthy had around 30 disposals. He was a good distributor in the back line, playing on the wings and pushing up the ground. I think Tom McCarthy did his part, to be honest. Now, William Edwards, I don't even need to read his stats. He had probably 7 1%ers and intercept possessions, but he kept N. Larkey goalless. And not many people who can keep Larkey goalless. In his 3rd game in his career, or 4th game, he done really well, and he should be very proud of the efforts he put. I'm sure Dean Cox will be very happy with Will Edwards and how he played. Archie Roberts had about 36 disposals and just was very dominant of the halfback line for the Bombers. He actually has that elite kicking style, which many players don't have in the competition. He's very consistent. He may get the 1-2 kicks and that, but he kicks the ball out of the back line and just does very well. As a high meters gain player as well. So Archie Roberts played well. Wayne Malira having a great season, 37 disposals. I think he got a goal as well from long range, so he's doing really well. Ryan Lester, 22 disposals, had 10 intercepts and a lot of marks. Ryan Lester just does what he has to do. Ryan is a very good defender. The Brisbane Lions, a premiership player, always on 1-year deals, and to be honest, doesn't get the respect that he deserves, that being Ryan Lester. John Noble was Gold Coast's best player against the Saints in that lucky game they won only because of umpiring. He was pretty good. Lockie Whitfield had about 35, playing halfback wing, did really well. Lockie Neal was awesome, 33 disposals, 12 clearances, and a lot of score involvements. Lockie Neal doing very well again. Jordan DeGoey had 30-odd disposals and 11 score involvements. He did really good for the Pies in their big loss at Geelong. Darcy Wilson kicked 4 goals and 20-something touches for 22, I think. Look, he played really well, but he had a few mistakes that really pissed me off, but his game was still huge nonetheless. Mitch Georgiades, 4 goals, 4 for the Power, did well in their close loss to the Bulldogs. Jordan Sweet cost them the game. Jake Waterman kicked 4 goals, 4. He really should have had 6 or 7 goals, maybe even 8. Logan Morris kicked 4 and was really dominant for the Lions in their win over Carlton. Harry Mackay, the best game of his career, 3 goals, 3, 20 disposals, deserves to be on the team. Jack Gunston kicked 6 and at his age, probably the best in-form, oldest player in the competition, Jack Gunston. Luke Jackson was very dominant in the ruck with about 22 disposals and about 20-something odd hitouts. Luke Davies-Uniacke had 34 disposals, did well. Isaac Heaney kicked 3 and 24. Sam Flans had 28 disposals, and he was really efficient through the middle of the ground, setting up chains that led to scores or getting the ball inside 50 with good efficiency as well. Hayward kicked 3 goals and 20 disposals, his best game as a Blue. Alex Neil-Bullen, just in that second half, you just seen he was bobbing up every time, involving himself in the chain, kicked an important goal on the goal line as well in the second half. So his form deserved to be warranted. Jacob Van Rooyen kicked 5 and 14 disposals. Kicked goals in every quarter, so that helped him get a spot in the team of the week. Connor Iden had 24 disposals and about 11 intercept possessions, so he deserved it as well. Watson was very damaging for Hawthorn, but just missed out essentially for Logan Morris / Will Hayward. So, yeah, / Van Rooyen. Dawson was really good for the Crows, and Rankin, he was good, but not as good as people are carrying on for him to have been. So that's my team of the week. Comment down below what your thoughts are, and what your team would look like, and everything like that. I think it's a good team. I've assembled here. So just comment down below what you would have done for your team of the week. But that's what I've done. So I'm really happy with the team that I have assembled. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that then. So now it's time to just shortly go through my Supercoach team, a very heavily debated Supercoach team. So with my Supercoach team, I scored 2,127 and have now dropped into the top 26%. Very angry as I've just built this lead up too. So I'm not exactly thrilled about it, but yeah, I was on track for a massive score around the 2,400 range, and then Lockie Neal and Luke Jackson did very well for me on the first 2 games, and then just went down the shitter from there. So that's my score. I'm going to go through my team right now. And obviously Naz being allowed out didn't help as well. Right. So Wanganeen Miller did not play, so I wasn't happy with that, but I got Jack Carroll's 43, which is kind of whatever. Will Edwards, who I traded in on the bench, got 61. See, only smart Supercoach people brought in Will Edwards. Josh Lindsay got 81, really happy with that. Farrow got 48, shit. Might be time for him to go. Blamire, 60. You can consider getting rid of him as well. Josh Wall, 86, not really happy with that, but yeah, that's kind of expected. Jack Sinclair, 117, really happy with that. So there's your problem right there, though. We're all getting about 30 short than what he should. Malira didn't play, so that's 120 odd points. So that's 150 points lost in the back line, essentially. But if you take that Carroll 43, it's about 111 points. So 110 points, let's just say, short in the back line there. Butters, 130, happy with that. Merritt, 105, not happy with that. He should have got more than that. Another 20 points. Lockie Neal, 121, really good. Should have got 150, but Supercoach system is stuffed. And Dacre, 67, absolutely garbage. Absolutely garbage. Pathetic, not happy with that. Dersma, 65, bit of whatever. Might be time for him to go. Milan Murdoch, 93. You're an idiot if you traded out Milan Murdoch. I never had him to begin with. 93 was awesome. Sam Cumming, 32, who I just traded in. Not happy at all, but I didn't get Tom Burton, who scored nothing different to Sam Cumming. Freedom McRae was a loophole in there to see how Anderson went. So I got Angus Anderson, 60. And, of course, I benched Rechko for that Anderson 60 and screwed myself over because Cumming got 80 odds of the last 2 games. So I went him over Rechko, and Rechko, of course, dominated, had 30-something points in the first quarter. But happy with Rechko, 72. Sardis didn't play because Bradshaw a shit coach. 1 goal and 34 in the VFL for Elijah Sardis. Dyson Sharps injured his shoulder, may be out for the season. So bring back Elijah Sardis, Scotty. For God's sake, you shit coach. Seriously. So you're going back to that for just a second. So in my midfield, I probably lost a good 200 points. I reckon, Merritt about 20. Dacos about another 100, so that's 120. Neil was robbed of 30 points, so that's like 150. Dersman should have got a little bit more. Cummings should have got more. So let's add that around 200 odd points more. So that's about 310 points more in those 2 positions alone. Luke Jackson, 141, really good. Brody Grundy, 96, not happy. McAndrew is a loophole option, or not loophole option, but a bench player. making the money. That's all that matters. I mean, I could have had him in the flex, but then I think it would have screwed my team over in a way throughout the whole season, not being able to move anyone else really around. So that's that. So Grundy getting 96, he was lucky to get that, to be honest. So probably lost about 30-odd points there. So that's about 400 points combined, roughly, give or take, in those three positions. Sheasel 126, good. Petrarca 90, pathetic. Zach Bailey 75, pathetic. Sam Flanders 120, awesome. Rochelle 86, pathetic. Filippo was my loophole there, 58, whatever. Same with Lombo, 57, whatever. I brought in Isaac Heaney, and he got 118. Should have got more than that, considering he was on 52 at quarter time or start of the second quarter. But a bit of whatever there. So that's another. Zach Bailey should got another 50 points. Rochelle should got another 30 points. That's 80 points there. Petrarca should got another 30. That's 110. So all in all, I got screwed over about 500 points. So really, we should have been talking about 2,627 and in the top 10%, not 2,127 and top 26%. But it is what it is. As I said, looking at upgrading here, I got some money to move around. I've got my trades in at the moment, but I'm not revealing it because I want to see how I go for myself so people don't copy my trades, as that's what people sometimes do in the past, hence why I don't reveal it. Now, I haven't mentioned my Scoops fan club league for a while. I'm 68th in that league. I'm not happy. We've got Michael, who is in the lead on 19,423 points. In second place, we've got Adam on 19,364. We've got Chris in third, Charlie in fourth, and Mike in fifth. I don't see Shane from our live streams around there much, so that's very interesting, Shane. Not in the top 5. Interesting. Not good enough. Anyway, so that's that. Right, now let's go review the round 9 games. Cameo.com/CripG up there on the QR code on the screen. Cameo.com/CripG. All right, let's go through the game, shall we? So Thursday night at Optus Stadium, it's Fremantle 88, Hawthorn 73, Freo by 15 points. Michael Frederick had a good last quarter. Luke Jackson as well, obviously. N. Watson was good for Hawthorn. Jai Newcomb did whatever. It's a good game that Hawthorn led for the first 3 quarters and Freo got the job done in the end. Friday night at the Gabba, Brisbane 100, Carlton 89, Brisbane by 11 points. Look, Carlton did much better in terms of effort. Where they switched the roles around. They were garbage in the first half, came back in the second half, got to within 2 goals, so credit to coming back. But let's not get it twisted, Carlton fans. You did the same shit you normally do, but quarters or halves were reversed. So don't take this as a moral victory, seriously, considering you were so trash in the first half, so you still have half a game where you're playing shit. AFL football's played for 4 quarters, not 2. Educate yourself. So they were shit. They're still the same old shit. But because the roles are reversed, no one talks about the first half. They talk about the second half. So, they did whatever. So, yeah. Good on them, I guess, but it was still shit. Haywood and Mackay. Harry Mackay, playing on Harris Andrews was a great effort from Harry Mackay. He should be really proud. And Ben Mackay, who played in the VFL, people should start respecting those two a lot more because the amount of bullshit they cop is unwarranted. Adelaide 72, Western Bulldogs 74, Bulldogs by 2 points. Now, Arthur Jones, was he out of bounds? Maybe, maybe not. We didn't really get an angle to show otherwise. The Bulldogs are severely protected, so no doubt they got the match fixing in their favour. Adelaide, all their fans do is cry about umpires anyway, so they've been crying since Kane Corns and his team Adelaide lost that grand final to Geelong by 100 and something plus points. Absolute banter club and embarrassing. Ken Hinkley was their best coach, and they got rid of him for Josh Carr, who's a shit coach, who's done nothing this year or last year. Let's be real, he was pulling the strings last year, not Ken Hinkley. Ken Hinkley was a good coach, and they were good prior to that. It was just the successor was Josh Carr, and last year proven that he shouldn't be in coach. And just because they've been close this year and have combined 8 points for 4 losses or something, or 10 points, whatever it is, doesn't mean they've done better necessarily. You got to look at who they've played and when they've played them. Adelaide out of form, Bulldogs out of form. St Kilda's a good loss to have because St Kilda are a good team, but yeah, So Jordan Sweet. Hey, Sweetie. Jordan Sweet. That's his nickname. Jordan Sweet is Sweetie. Maybe if you didn't push your Bulldogs opponent in that goal square and you got that point, Will Lewis's shot at goal at the end wouldn't have happened because the scores would have been level, Jordan. With 8 seconds to go, you got the kick out. Obviously, no one would have rushed because you wouldn't have won in 8 seconds at Adelaide Oval from a kick out on the other side of the ground. And Will Lewis wouldn't have had that ball in the pocket to get a point. So you lost by 2 points, but essentially, Jordan Sweet cost the Western Bulldogs. No, sorry. Jordan Sweet cost the Port Adelaide Football Club the win here. There's no other way to put it. What a shit ruck, and that's why he's a SANFL hack. But so is half their team. Like, seriously. Zerk Thatcher, Radically, and they can't even get a game. They're in the SANFL. Funny that, because they're SANFL hacks. And yes, I know they're called SANFL, not SANFL, but a mate of mine on the streams calls it SANFL, and it's just a running gimmick. So, there you go. So, yeah, look, Port Adelaide were all right, but they lost. So, and they blew it for themselves through Jordan Sweet. North Melbourne, 67. No, not 67, 97. Sydney, 105. Swans by 8 points. Look, Sydney shouldn't be happy with this. They got the job done, got the 4 points and move on. But the Swans, North Melbourne, they've been competitive in a lot of games this year. They'd be like St Kilda. They've won some and they've lost some. And they've been competitive in basically every game, but maybe one for North. So they should be really happy with their efforts. Sydney, in a close loss of Marvel like this, should be really happy. But Larky, your skipper, who always does so well, he was the difference. Will Edwards, the 4-gamer, beat Mr. Larky, kept him goalless and no damage at all. LDU was good. Don't play Cam so hard in the backline. He's a spud. I guess he can't cut it as a forward, so they're going to play him in the backline to try and make him look relevant because he's shit. And a fake tough guy is he. The Swans, Heaney was good. Grundy wasn't that great. Neither was Cherry, though, either. So some of North's big movers weren't good. Sheezer was good. But yeah, it is what it is. Paul Curtis was okay, I guess, at times. Matt Roberts had 6 disposals and made Campbell Brown's team of the week. Shows how uneducated Campbell Brown is, but I've known that forever since his dirty tactics he played as a Hawthorn footballer and Gold Coast player as well. The incident he had with Stephen May as well. Just shows the type of character Campbell Brown is and shows he's got zero ball knowledge and was a shit footballer as well. And was in a good team, and that's the only reason why they made him look good, because the team was good, but he was shit. Hence, when he went to Gold Coast, he was proving how shit he truly was. GWS 103, Essendon 89. GWS by 14 points. So, again, a bit like North with Sydney. GWS, they got the job done. They did what they had to do. But Essendon were the better side, I feel, for the first 2.5, 3 quarters. The Giants late just did what the Giants do. The orange tsunami. They got the job done. No Tristy Hogan. So they got a lot of injuries, the Giants. Toby Green kicked 3, was solid. Finn Callahan was good with 30 disposals. Whitfield was good. Iden was good. Laverde was good. Stringer was good, kicking 3 as well. So they all had some players do their part. Essendon, it was Archie Roberts. It was Nate Caddy, Peter Wright, who kicked 3 as well. They had players that did well. But they'll be ruining the chances they had there. Gold Coast 89, robbed St Kilda 60. Gold Coast by 29 points. Watch the game, St Kilda actually ended the whole way through. St Kilda were severely robbed and Gold Coast were severely protected. So this is a tainted victory for the Gold Coast Suns. I'm sure the AFL and Andrew Dillon, since he was there, was probably there to personally hand them another free academy selection for this match. It was completely ridiculous. Shouldn't have let them come back in it, but the umpiring sure helped them, that's for sure, and got them the win. Mitch Owens gets elbowed in the face in the goal square when it was around 2 points in the third or last quarter, and we got screwed over by the dodgy umpiring. So, yep, Geelong 122. Oh, St Kilda. Sinclair was really good. Flanders. Liam Henry was okay as well. Jack Silvani was really good down the back line. Ben King got 4 goals for Gold Coast in the second half. I think there were 3 of those 4 in the second half. Geelong 122, Collingwood 68. Big margin, 54 points. Not good from the Pies, not good. Second half was terrible, according to some Collingwood supporters I spoke to, because I didn't get to watch basically any of this except for the last quarter, properly that is. So, look, disappointing. Mr. N. Dacos gets all the bagging out in the world, and I do not, for the life of me, understand why. Like, okay, he hasn't had great impact, but he's still got 29 disposals, so he's still playing okay. Just because he's not damaging as much as he normally does, doesn't mean he's not good. And for people that say, oh, he's nowhere near one of the best players in the competition now, what? Because of 1 game, 2 games, 3 games? 1, 2, 3 games doesn't define how good you are. Your bulk of your season and your career defines how good of a footballer you are, not 1 or 2 games. Heck, look at Ben Long. One hit wonder he is, and literally hit Clayton Oliver last week and got let off. I forgot to mention that. How the hell was he not suspended for punching Clayton Oliver in the face and slapping him and rubbing his head? I thought they wanted to stamp out that shit. Ben Long was shit against us, so against his old side, but Ben Long shit anyway. So I'm not shocked that he had a shit game because he's a spud. And he is the biggest hack in the competition, or one of, along with Marcus B. Melbourne, West Coast. Melbourne 99, Eagles 67. Melbourne by 32 points. Melbourne, started strong, but after that, it was relatively even, boring game. Now, Harry Edwards had another concussion, and apparently, according to Ryan Daniels, a media person who I can respect because he actually earned his job. He's not an ex-footballer who got it because, you're one of the people that played AFL. Sure, you can get a radio gig or TV gig. He actually earned it. He was talking in Perth radio today that unfortunately this may be the end of Harry Edwards' career. He's going to have the concussion panels and everything like that. And he reckons he'll be out for at least a few months. So Harry Edwards, I think, is a very underrated key defender of the Eagles. He's 25 in the peak of his career, the prime of his career. But unfortunately may be over due to concussion. West Coast have had a few in that position. Dan Venables and a few others, Luke Edwards, and a few others that he mentioned as well. So shit times for Harry Edwards. We wish him all the best, and hopefully he can be out there again. But if it's the end, Harry Edwards, it sucks. I feel for Harry Edwards. I really do. He's a really underrated key defender in my eyes. I've been saying the Eagles have missed him, but Rhett Bazzo has to get a game because Tyler Young is absolutely shit. And Richmond fans are really happy they got rid of that spud. But yeah, Tom McCarthy, Harley Reid, Willem Dursman picked it up in the second half. Milan Murdoch, 25 disposals. He was really considered for Team of the Week as well. I should have had him on the emergency list, actually. He was very close as well. Richmond 61, Adelaide 98, Adelaide by 37. Don't get it twisted, just like the Saints game. Richmond were in this game the whole way through. The third quarter was bad for Richmond, 6-0, and that stuffed them up. They missed Jacob Hopper and Tom Lynch and McKelty Lafau. Missed easy shots in the last quarter that stuffed them any opportunity they could have had. They fought hard, Richmond, but then Adelaide got 3 cheap goals in the last 5 minutes. Rochelle got a nice goal from the boundary. The people that threatened Josh Rochelle, you are complete and utter scum, and hopefully Josh Rochelle is okay. The abuse that he copped is stuffed up from that individual on Insta that wrote that message. Pathetic. Hopefully Josh Rochelle is okay. He kicked that sealer goal from a free kick that probably shouldn't be there. The way people go about it, like, yes, it shouldn't have been a free kick, but God, keep your cool, people. Show some respect. But Richmond, great effort. Kane McAuliffe apparently played with an injured foot, was it? I can't remember what it was. Playing injured, and only played like 40% or so game time when he had 28 disposals last week and similar numbers in the last few weeks before that. So that tells you why he played low minutes. So it was a bit of a surprise. He's been good for them this year, Kane McAuliffe. Patrick Goreshko, I thought had a good game. Their rucks are terrible. Their rucks are so bad. Noel Bolter's a better ruck than Oliver Hayes-Brown and Samson Ryan. That tells you that those two actual rucks are garbage. And Lockie McAndrew kicked his first goal in his career. The celebration was normal, but his Josh Kennedy-esque routine was very interesting. But what on to Lockie McAndrew? The Swans weren't happy of him being gone. Well, some people weren't at the Swans, but they let him go. Playing Sample, or on a Sample list, and the Crows picked him up last second when they had a spot open. Now, let's now go preview. But Richmond, look, they weren't bad. They can be proud with all the 17 or so injuries they got. Prestia and some other players as well, a fair few others, Nankervis, etc. They can be really happy with how they went. Now, let's preview round 10 to wrap this up. So, we've got Thursday night at the Gabba, 7:30 Victorian time. It's Brisbane and Geelong. I'll be tipping Brisbane this one by 20 points. Friday night at the SCG, it's Sydney hosting Collingwood. I'll be tipping Sydney by 40 points. No Darcy Moore, he's out with concussion. Gold Coast Port Adelaide in Darwin, Friday night, 8:10 Victorian time. I'll be tipping Gold Coast in this one by 20 points. Saturday, 1:15 at the Adelaide Oval. It's Adelaide hosting North Melbourne. I'll be tipping Adelaide in this one by 20 points. Wouldn't shock me if North win this, to be honest. Keep an eye out on that. Melbourne Hawthorn MCG, Saturday, 4:15 p.m. Victorian time. I'll be tipping Hawthorn in this one by 12 points. Carlton Western Bulldogs, Saturday night at Marvel. I'm tipping 7:35 p.m. Victorian time. Carlton Bulldogs. I'll be tipping Bulldogs in this one by 28 points. Essendon Fremantle at Marvel on Sunday. Sorry, the MCG on Sunday. I'll be tipping Fremantle in this one by 60 points. 3:15 p.m. at Marvel on Sunday. It's the Saints hosting Richmond. I'll be tipping St Kilda in this one by 40 points. Just hope we get the win, though. And West Coast and GWS Sunday night at Optus Stadium. I'll be tipping the Giants in this one by 22 points. Now, Jamie Cripps may have suffered a season and career-ending ACL injury. Cripper, if this is the end, we wish you all the best. You've done so much in the AFL for the Eagles. At Saints, helped the Saints make finals a couple of years ago when you beat the Bulldogs and eliminated them. You helped us officially get in. But an ACL injury potentially in the waffle, which sucks. So, Cripper, all the best. And hopefully it's not an ACL, but if it is, and it's the end of your career, you've had a bloody good one, Cripper, so you should be very proud, Jamie Cripps. Also, according to Xander Maguire, the fixture for the rest of the home and away season, excluding the last 2 rounds, will be out on Wednesday. Just announced a whole lot. God's sake, AFL. Typical AFL and their shitty organisation and the shitty people running it. Thank you, go Saints. And, acknowledge that Roman Reigns is great and so is Liv Morgan. Go Saints, and the Saints hopefully make finals in 2026.